Shaloja and welcome, one and all. We did it. We made it through February. Now, February, of course, is the shortest month of the year, but we did it. We did it. We got a couple more months to go, and then it is on like Donkey Kong. And yeah, Donkey Kong isn't really a reference to the Orville, but hey, you know, it's a nerdy thing that we all are aware of. Hey, how's it going? Let's see. Let's get this in order. Self-loathing. Thank you so much for dropping some shekels into the super chat. Very much appreciated.
Hey, there you go. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Now, self-loathing basically called shotgun. Self-loathing says, hey, I'm here first again. That's a shotgun call right there. So yes, self-loathing gets to be in the passenger seat, right up in the front. Next to me, JP, Mark Lawrence, thank you very much appreciated.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Yeah, you look like the guy who's on the list because you know the DJ.
Another month down, getting close now. This season will be a fun ride. Oh my goodness, Mark, it's going to be an amazing ride. No doubt, especially after that sneak peek from a couple weeks ago, which I'm doing a little video about this week. Right now, it is written. I just have to, say those things in front of a camera while it's recording, and then edit it all together, and then upload and do all the things that YouTube likes to hopefully ensure that people actually see the video. Silly YouTube. Archmage Frey, official channel member, Beard to the Future. That's right, this beard is going wherever I go. Curtis, official channel member, it's been too long. Brian Dawkins, don't forget to hit the like button. All right, let me do that right now. Hit that like button. Click. YouTube's very happy with me right now. They want people to interact. Archmage Frey, I'll ride in the trunk. Wherever I got room, I'll clear out the trunk of the Ego Mobile, and we'll get you fitted and nice and comfortable inside that trunk. What's going on, you guys? You guys ready? I know you're ready for the Orville. I know you're ready to talk about the Orville. The video that I'm working on this week is, I've done some hints about it. It is called Do Kalon Dream ... which refers to do androids dream of electric sheep? Because there's a little bit of a word that starts with the letter C that I can't think of right now, but it kind of fits the new season of the Orville, at least this first episode of the third season. To me, in my opinion, is going to kind of follow the lines of Philip K. Dick's novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which was eventually turned into a movie called Blade Runner. And I've found a lot of things that are that the Orville and the novel, the movie, kind of might share in common for this first episode of season 3, New Horizons, but also, in my opinion, will probably carry throughout the whole season, because I do know in season 3, even though Isaac had a huge storyline last season, he's going to have a huge storyline this season as well. I do know that people are not happy with Isaac. At the big start of this season, people are they don't quite trust him, and he's going to have to earn their trust throughout the season, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to do it. How he's going to do it, we'll just have to wait and see. Lone Puppy, can't wait for next 5 seasons. Me too. That's exactly what I want, but I can go for more. Can you guys go for more than 5 more seasons? I can.
Mocklins, many of them, ready to be adventurous.
Ooh, get down with the Mocklins this season. That I do know we're doing as well. As Rena Owen, who plays Havina, the female Mocklin activist. I know her character is returning this season. Thank you very much, Lone Puppy. TTQ75 says, I've been ready for years. Me too. But usually the longer it takes, I'm happy, because that just gives me more time. Also, it really worked out for me, because we were supposed to start the season next week on Thursday, March 10th. But I'm actually really busy on March 11th, and I need to get prepared for that busyness the day before. So if I wouldn't have enough time to get the reviews in at the time that I want to get them in if they premiered next week. So I'm pretty happy. If they ever invent a smell-o-vision, I sure hope JP will launch a Smelling the Orville show. Well, it depends on where you want to go. I don't necessarily want to turn on the smell-o-vision when we're in the Bortus' sex lagoon. I don't want to know what that smells like. What's up, John? How you doing? Dean Jones, can't believe they bought the rights to another book just to call the movie Blade Runner. Yeah, I'm going to admit something to you guys. I don't think I've ever seen Blade Runner. I know it's like one of those you have to see it type movies. I've never seen it. The story, though, at least from the novel, is right up my alley. I love that stuff. Things about contemplating, just contemplating things. It's kind of like the novel, at least. I'm sure the movie is the same way. It kind of contemplates the rights of these androids, kind of like the episode in season 2 of The Next Generation with Data. Does Data have rights? Well, they're gonna have a whole court battle to find out, that sort of thing. I think we might be doing that. I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing. They might raise the question: does Isaac have rights? And of course, I would say yes, he should have rights. But will the Union agree to that? Being that he is his people are a huge threat. He was part of the coup. He was part of the whole battle. I mean, he helped the decision on whether or not his people were going to destroy all sentient life in the galaxy. So I think that would be this would be an appropriate season to bring that up. And I'm sure Mercer is going to want to definitely fight for Isaac's rights. Now, don't forget when the crew of the Orville had to fight for Bortus's child's rights, and Bortus's rights. Kelly had to take over because she had the most lawyering experience. She took a class. And so Mercer's like, yeah, you're going to have to represent him. So if that happens with Isaac, will Mercer represent Isaac or will Kelly have to do it? We'll have to wait and see. Mark Lawrence, a member for 6 months, Jaloja Squad. I hope the female Mocklins have erected a statue of Dolly Parton somewhere. Absolutely. Right in the middle of the sanctuary. Absolutely.
Tractor beam activated. It's pulling us in. Oh, no!
Oh, good old Dolly Parton. Them Mocklin females are hopefully working longer than 9 to 5 to get on the board, to become a legal nation of to become a people officially recognized by the Union and by the Mocklins. We're a part of the Union, but smell-o-vision on the P corner. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think we'll have no smell-o-vision on the Sex Lagoon. We'll have no smell-o-vision in the Shuttle Bay, because that's where the P corner is. I bet you there's other places we probably shouldn't have smell-o-vision on the Orville. Any idea how many more teaser trailers they will put out for us lowly consumers? I don't know how many, but I'm guessing at least one. They'll have at least one, kind of giving us a little bit of a heads up of what the season will bring. Usually when they do these teaser, like actual trailers, they usually use the first 4 or 5 episodes of footage. But we'll see. Seth MacFarlane loves to keep things secret. Not because he's a jerk or anything like that. It's like he wants us to have a reaction. He wants to see what our reaction is to something we had no idea was showing up. But of course we're going to have a trailer. They always have a trailer. Let's see, I've never seen Blade Runner or Alien. I'm a bad nerd. Well, I've definitely seen all the Alien movies many a times, especially Alien and Aliens. Aliens is my favorite one. Gotta have Bill Paxton, But yeah, I'm sure we'll get at least 1 or 2. Because the true hardcore promotion for the new season is just getting underway. Just real simple at first. First, that big old teaser as a thanks for waiting so long. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer, but here's what we're going for. And wow, what an opening sequence. That was the whole thing with the battle with the Kalon and Marcus running through the ship. That is the opening sequence to the first episode of the Orville, which I believe... This was a rumor, but a rumor from like 2 years ago. Apparently the first, or at least 5 episode titles were leaked and the first one was called Electric Sheep, which to me, of course, goes back to do androids dream of electric sheep? We see a dream sequence at the beginning of that opener that opening scene. We assumed it's Marcus dreaming. I think Jonathan Perez kind of said this, and it made me think, oh yeah, duh, I think that too, because of the stuff that I know about it being electric sheep. I think it's Isaac having a dream of some sort. Maybe either his programming evolved, which, as we've seen, it does do. That's how he fell in love in Android terms with Claire, because his programming adapted. Maybe he adapted to have dreams. Maybe he created a program to allow him to dream, to tap into his subconscious. I think it's I think it kind of shows the audience that Isaac, besides being able to evolve and to change, is worried about what, especially Marcus and Ty and Claire, think of him. He's worried that they think of him as a monster. He's worried himself. He's worried about himself, that something might happen to his programming and he might turn on them again. So he probably doesn't even completely trust himself. Because what if the Kalon just do a little doopy doopy doop and send a virus to him or reprogram him some way, somehow, and he turns on them again unwillingly? All of that is possible. And I think opening up with Isaac having a dream is way cooler than just a human on the ship having a dream to start us off. Archmage says, oh, that's a good point. I was wondering if it was a simulation and not a dream, because that toothy mouth effect reminded me of the effect from the simulation in Firestorm, where Isaac turned evil in Alara's simulation that she didn't know was a simulation, which was a pretty cool way to use the simulator. Of course, that has happened before with Riker, when the Cardassians put him into... was it the Cardassians? I think it was. Kim Kardashian put him... they were trying to get information from him, so they made him think that, 15 years had passed or something like that. That was a great episode as well. But yeah, it was simulation and not a dream. That mouth effect, I think, is his subconscious. He's worried of appearing as a monster to those kids. Really, the only people he really cares about is Claire, Ty, and Marcus. That's his human family. So I think he'd be worried about them the most, putting them in danger, things like that. Did your day in court go well? Well, it keeps getting extended. That's actually what I have to do next week, because I have to go to court. Hopefully it's the last one, because this stuff is expensive, you guys. But there's a dangerous dude, and he won't lay off. So we're trying to get him to lay off and get out and step away from our lives. So I've been thinking about that a lot, so it slows me down on getting other stuff done. And I don't want anything in my life to distract me when the Orville starts. Once the Orville starts, I plan on completely diving headfirst, being completely 100% consumed for, I assume, 2 months that it'll be airing new episodes. Oh, the Romulans. Yes, the Romulans. Now I'm going back. The walls are shattering, and I see a Romulan step through. Yes, not a Cardassian. I'm seeing it. My memories are coming back. Isaac is only young compared to the other Kalon. That's another video that I plan on bringing up at some point. Lone Puppy. So maybe they made him more human to relate better as an ambassador. Riker Hollow episode was where Alien Kid was in control of the simulation. Was that the one where it turned out to be a kid in a cave? And it wasn't the actual bad guy Romulans, or was that a whole separate one? I can't remember. I need to go back and... God, who has time to watch all of TNG? And I've seen all of TNG 100 times at this point. Man, time flies and time goes by, and you kind of forget the little ins and outs of these episodes sometimes. But yeah, Isaac is younger than some of the other Kalon, but that could mean that Isaac is only 1,000,000 years old or 300,000 years old. I mean, we know he lived 700 years on that multiphasic planet in the end of season 1 in Mad Idolatry. And he said, 700 years to the crew is only like 700 seconds to him. he said in that episode that Kalon can exist for millions of years, which is also going back to my theory of the Mad Idolatry multiphasic planet actually being the original Kalon planet from hundreds of thousands of years ago, which is why they didn't put two and two together, because the years were so far off as far as any readings or anything like that, they wouldn't have connected the two. Archmage says, since the comics are soft canon, do you think we will have any direct references to them in the show this season? Oh, they've gotten pretty hardcore with the comics during this long hiatus. They've done a lot of comics. That would be interesting to see. I think they totally could. I mean, the person who writes for the Orville is the same person that writes the comic books. So it's you know, it is from the Orville production, these stories. So I would say it is definitely possible. Hey, Kevin Scott, official channel member, how you doing? It was a kid on the Riker episode. Good old Riker, the bearded one. So the first trick layer of this simulation was Romulans. Then the real reveal was it was just the kid. Okay. Is that the kid wanted a daddy? Was that what it was? It was a daddy issue simulation? Yeah, all we are is dust in the wind. Are you going to bring back the Twitch movie weekly watch party? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I haven't decided on that. Things are a little bit busier for me these days than they were back in those days, because I have another job now. I have this, and then I have my other job, which I spend about 4 days on every week. And then in the later hours of the day, and on that one day I have off, and sometimes on the weekends, then I do YouTube stuff. But we'll have to see, because also they just don't have a lot of movies that I want to watch on Amazon. Though maybe we'll do a upload season 2 watch party. We did upload season 1 watch party back in the day. Upload season 2 airs next Friday. I mean, I'm going to watch them all before I do a watch party of them. Let everybody watch them so they don't get distracted from the live stream version of it. So yeah, we might do that as a tester. Upload, if you guys haven't checked it out, it's an Amazon original, sci-fi, comedy, some serious moments, but also makes fun of society quite a bit. It takes place in the near future. It makes fun of a lot of our digital world that we've created around ourselves. So yeah, if we do that, let's do a upload watch party, season dose. Ryan says, I bet you're correct, but then why isn't Isaac homeworld shifting in and out? Because maybe in the Union's history, 700 years hasn't gone by yet. Or maybe it eventually stops doing that after a couple hundred years. I mean, it doesn't have to be forever. Whatever it is, they can find an easy reason for it, just a simple line of dialogue. Oh yeah, 100,000 years ago, the phasing stopped going so quickly. It started slowing down, and then it just disappeared. It doesn't do it anymore. Or maybe the Kalon stopped it from happening. When was Isaac built? Is the Doctor a pedo? Yes, absolutely.
Sweet emotion.
Really? This is my job? How did I win at life? But I did. I've won. Yeah.
Maybe the Doctor's a Geppetto. When is the Orville being released? June 2nd. In the United States, it'll be on Hulu. Internationally, it should be on Disney+. We do not know as of yet if it'll be airing on the same day, or if, I'm guessing the same day. Things are a lot more worldwide than they were a few years ago, especially when it comes to television and stuff. Everything seems to be coming out around the same exact time when it comes to streaming content. So yeah, June 2nd, at least in the United States. I assume that could be the case worldwide on Disney Plus as well. And it's going to be a great time. That's when these live shows are going to be going every week, because it's, from what we hear, the Orville episodes are supposed to be weekly releases. Now, I'm pretty sure they're going to at least air 2 to 3 episodes that first day, so we might be talking about 2 or 3 episodes on that first, when it releases on June 2nd. We're still trying to find out. I bet you they probably still will be available to buy on Amazon. The previous 2 seasons were available to buy on Amazon next day. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be the case this time. I wasn't paying attention back when Handmaid's Tale was airing, if their episodes were available next day to purchase. But Handmaid's Tale is a Hulu original. Yet it's available worldwide and on Amazon. So I'm assuming that'll be the same case for the Orville. Diabolical. When does The Boys next season come out? Diabolical. Yeah, I was thinking that Kaylon probably figured out how to stop the phasing. Yeah, I would. It would be either it just stopped naturally, or they figured it out. I mean, it could be their location in space is what made the phasing happen. But then, time goes by, wherever you are in space kind of shifts a little bit. So maybe they just got out of range of phasing being even possible. Is the Orville going to be weekly, or is it all releasing day one? I assume it's weekly. Amazon originals are usually weekly, a weekly release. They give you 2 or 3 episodes, and then they move to weekly. That's all their other originals are. You hoping Disney puts all the episodes online at one time? There's always an argument for, I want it all now. We waited so long. Give us it all. We want to just binge watch it. I just know that it'd be better for the show if they do weekly, better for the fandom, better for longevity, to have people live with it each week and look forward to it each week while new episodes are coming out. But also, we also kind of just want it, right? I want it. There's certain shows where I'm like, I wait for all the episodes to come out and then I watch the show because I want to binge it. Like if Upload all came out at once, which I doubt that they do, but if they did, I would binge the whole thing. Jeff B, what?
I would be happy to attempt sexual relations with you, Lieutenant.
Dang, Isaac's all about harassment, man. Wonder what tunes Seth has in store for us. Oh, like the pop culture type songs that they do on the show? Usually that Gordon does on the show. Or, even music. They had Billy Joel. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. He always has a good time figuring out some great songs. I'm guessing we'll have 1 or 2 things from the 70s. That seems to be par for the course. But I do know we're going to have a great score. That is for damn sure. Some of the scores you can do ahead of time. Like the new theme song, you can do that ahead of time. A couple things you can do ahead of time. But when it comes to scenes, those scenes have to be edited, put into their final, into their final edit, and then given to the musicians to write stuff around that scene. And then they have to record it. So it does take a while to get the music done. Because Seth is just huge into making sure that all of his shows have a great score, but especially the Orville. I mean, they have a huge orchestra, and they're putting together some hardcore songs. I've heard about 3 or 4 of the songs, at least pieces of the songs so far. They all take you on a journey with nothing to look at. You just listen to music, and they take you on a journey, and you can picture the Orville. You kind of figure out what the scene might be about, depending on the music. Oh yeah, I hope Bortus sings this season, says Lone Puppy. No clue. I know he steps up to the mic. That's a fact. Don't know what that means. That means he's either doing a speech, stand-up, singing. It could be he steps up to a guy named Mike. There's a guy named Mike on the show, maybe, and he just steps up to him. But I know he does step up to the mic. That has been confirmed. Maybe he does a play. You don't really use a microphone for a play. We'll have to see. Going good, Ryan. Just working my jobs and trying to get some Orville stuff as much as I can out there into the ether for people to pick up on and know that the show's coming and to get excited. And I see it on social media all the time. I see people almost every day, almost somebody just posts something random, because I follow anything that has to do with the Orville. So I see posts all the time say, hey, I just saw this show called The Orville. It's really great. I see that all the time. It's amazing. There's going to be... I didn't even know there was a boys animated series coming. No, I haven't seen a trailer for it. I'm going to have to look that up. The Gilded Age? I've heard of that. I'm trying... Oh, no, I haven't heard of that. That was just an answer on Jeopardy last week. The Gilded Age. Oh, yeah, Miss Maisel. Oh, they're already up to season 4 on that show. Maybe Bortis starts a podcast. That sounds amazing. And you know how the Orville likes to do a futuristic version of the crap that we deal with in our own lives and what's going on in our own society and entertainment. Maybe they'll still have podcasts in the future. Maybe he does a podcast called The Mocklin Minute. Yeah, new shows I haven't really been watching. We kind of discussed this in the last stream. I've been watching little things here and there, but I'm kind of fasting from shows that I would like to watch, especially sci-fi shows, mostly sci-fi shows, because I want to fast from that for a little bit so that when the Orville comes out, it just super blows me away. I'll probably end up checking out Picard, which I think is that this week? Is Picard this week? I haven't been paying attention at all to any Star Trek news, except for what I see in a random headline or something like that. I know we're getting a new Kelvin timeline, which these days I think would be fun, because those Kelvin movies, except for Into Darkness, which I did not like at all, the other two were just having fun. So I'm fine with that. If they keep the fun for the new Star Trek movie, I'm sure I'll be excited to see it. I watched the first episode of Discovery Season 4 when it first dropped a couple months ago. It didn't capture me, so I haven't watched any other episodes yet, but I'm sure I'll catch up with it. Season 3 caught me pretty good in that first episode. I was interested the whole time. And then we already know about the first 2 seasons. Season 3 was the first one. I was like, oh, this might be interesting. Season 4 didn't catch me. And everybody wants to check out Strange New Worlds. We'll see how that goes. Self-loathing, what?
I can promise you that if anyone comes at you or tries to take you down, I'm going to mess them up first.
I'm going to mess them up. Thank you very much. Will you watch Halo? Yeah, I'll definitely check out Halo. Halo 1, when the first Halo game came out, man, me and my friends were playing that. We'd get as many Xboxes together. Everybody bring their Xbox. We link them all together, and we just have huge Halo parties. And Halo 2, it didn't really... just didn't do what Halo 1 did. When they didn't have a true blood gulch in the next game, I was like, what? No blood gulch? This is ridiculous. But yeah, I'll be checking out Halo. That I'm familiar with. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff I'm going to check out, but I'm not in a hurry to check out any of it. Picard is this Wednesday. Okay. And then, yeah, the Orville got moved to June because there's so much Star Trek going on. And they, for the first time, the Orville's like, you know what? We want to be the only sci-fi show on while we're airing. Because Star Trek has always tagged along. And Star Trek also wants to do Thursdays. The Orville likes Thursdays. And then Star Trek's like, oh, we're going to do Thursdays as well. And so, for the first 2 seasons, there'd be an episode of the Orville. And then there'd be an episode of well, at that time, Discovery. I think was it Picard the other time? I don't remember. Oh, it was Discovery. And they're like, you know what? We want to be the only game in town for the 2 months that we're going to air it, so we can really test out the fandom, the sci-fi fandom. So I think it's a perfect thing to do, because there's just, like I've said in the video I did a couple of weeks ago, there's just too much competition. Too much competition for every genre, every show. All these streaming services all have these big shows, and they're, so you kind of have to account for that. The Kelvin timeline is a myth. It doesn't exist. I can say that about any Star Trek timeline. because they're all TV shows. But yeah, it's a myth. All you have to do is go back in time and change one thing, and the whole thing doesn't exist anymore. Hey, maybe that's what the next movie is. Maybe they're going back in time, they change something, and then Nero doesn't get all pissed off and all bitchy, and he leaves Spock alone. And then boom, Kelvin Timeline doesn't exist. Self-loathing.
Oh, wow. Sweet emotion.
How does Seth get away using copyright materials with more shows? Oh, they don't get away with it. They pay. If you're on an official TV show and you're using any music that's copywritten, you're paying for it. And the copyrights cost more than anything else in a production. But of course, yeah, he gets away with it by making his own music. He just hired musicians. He hired orchestrators. But of course, every time Gordon sings some song from the 70s or 80s, man, they're probably paying $50,000 for that.
Oh, wow. Sweet emotion.
Christina. Oh, there it is. It came in late on my chat. I was like, I want to cheer you. Christina, thank you very much for your super chat. Cheers, everyone. Let's do a...
Everybody does it sometimes. I went to town on myself this morning. That's why I look so relaxed right now.
God, this whole ship is gross.
This whole ship is gross. It's true. Cheers to you, Christina, and thank you very much. Babylon 5 is getting rebooted, so they say. What do you think about that? Will it happen? It's supposed to happen, but you know, nothing is official until it is official. Until you see something on the screen. All the news that they give news about, especially in entertainment, 3-4 years ahead of time. So there's so much can change between that. I mean, they even have news as like, oh, so and so is being considered for whatever movie, and it's like, that's not news. They just have to have stuff to talk about. But yeah, it's supposed to be rebooted. The original creator is the one writing it. It's a reboot. I think it'd be fine. If it's good, it's good. If the scripts are good, it'll be good. But, you know, isn't it going to be on CW? So it'll be more of that CW style, that Flash, that Riverdale. That CW has their own style. All their shows have a similar style compared to other networks. So, you know, if you like that style, there's plenty of CW shows that I thought were great. I used to love the Flash before I got tired of it. It'll be that style, I'm sure. Jonathan Perez, we're talking about you, so I'm glad you were able to make it. We've just been talking about Jonathan Perez this whole time. No, we're just talking about whatever. We're talking the Orville. We got Bruce Boxleitner playing a blue alien in Season 3 of the Orville. I'm guessing that the blue alien that he's playing is the leader of some world that's having a conflict with some other world, and the Orville's going to bring them both together. And I'm pretty sure... I've heard that he's actually in a couple of episodes as that character, not just a one-off. You want to see a Batman Beyond? Oh, they haven't done that yet. Isn't Batman Beyond that future Batman with the red thing on the front? Haven't they told the Batman story enough, Michael Keaton in Batman Beyond? I can go ahead and agree with that. I love Batman. I love Batman so much. I never get tired of Batman. But yeah, I can agree they have told the Batman story enough. Because they keep rebooting Batman, don't they? That being said, I cannot wait to see the new Batman movie this week. That's probably a movie I'm going to go see. I'm a Bat fanatic, I think.
Oh, wow.
Sweet emotion. Self-loathing. Where's Gordon's leg? I hope they don't screw up Halo. If they put millions into movies, it would blow anything Marvel away. For me, if they just don't have that sword, I hate that stupid sword that they came out with in the games. Just don't have that, and I think the Halo movie will be fine. Or the show. I'm liking that things are getting shows. One thing I did watch, because it's kind of off genre, and man, I loved it, and I'm going to watch it again. Peacemaker on HBO Max from the Suicide Squad, John Cena. It's basically like Steel Panther and WWF. decide to make a superhero movie. It was absolutely amazing. It's exactly the type of thing that I like. I don't know if you guys got to watch Peacemaker, but I highly recommend it. JP, do you still have a taco fund? I don't. Yes, I do. It's the PayPal account, which is in the description below. And then I also have. I'm getting married. For those of you who don't know, I'm getting married at the end of the year, and we have our wedding book for you guys to sign. That's pinned to the top of the chat. You guys click on there. You can sign our online wedding book. Give well wishes, see pictures of us, things like that. And we'll be adding to the website as the months go by, because it won't be till the end of the year. And we also have the registry on there. And eventually we will have a link for you guys to watch our wedding live. That is going to be available. We made sure we picked a service that live streams. And then once I get back, I'm going to download that live stream of our wedding and put it up on the channel forever. Everyone can join our wedding anytime they want to watch it. Yeah, Peacemaker was hilarious. And they're doing season 2. It already got announced. By the end of the season, people were loving it so much that they had to do it. They had to announce a second one. Grosnor the Mighty. Okay, Grosnor. You can sign it as Grosnor the Mighty. You can sign it as whatever you guys want. Oh, Aaron, you were an animator on Peacemaker? Awesome. Oh, somebody contacted me from the Orville. One of the production crew. And they said that opening scene, with Marcus running through the ship, that whole thing was edited from home. Everyone, that was during the lockdown. Everyone had to work from home to get that scene put together. So it just goes to show, not everyone has to work in the office anymore. I plan on never working in an office again. I'll just work on my computer with an at-home job, which is what I have right now, as well as the YouTube. Thank you, Trav. Appreciate it. Dan Crane. What?
Show no mercy. We fight for the glory of Avis.
Here's a little cheddar for your taco fun. Looking good. I've been making tacos at home because I can make them. Tacos are pretty healthy anyway. If you have street tacos, because it's just corn tortilla, a little bit of meat, a little bit of onions. There's not much on it. So I've made some pretty good ones from home. Me and my girlfriend, or fiance, I guess I should say, we like to work together. So sometimes we'll cook together. We made tacos the other night, and they came out healthy and good.
Sweet emotion.
Self-loathing again. What?
I wish to bring you erotic pleasure. Let us experience this sexual event.
And that is why we don't have smell-o-vision in the holodeck. What, the energy sword is the best weapon in the game. That with the grapple shot and Halo Infinite plus the weapon is canon. Oh, I know. I just hated it because I sucked at it. So my friend Chris was, we had about 8 of us that would, we played Halo all the time. So we got the new one. And then that sword came up and we all sucked at it. But Chris figured it out. And he would just run around the map just one-shotting us all. And so that's why I hate the sword. Because I kept getting killed by it. I couldn't even learn how to use it because I kept getting killed by it. Is Peacemaker all the series, or was there also a movie? I don't have HBO Max. Yes. Okay, so years ago, Suicide Squad movie came out. And it was, it had some cool stuff in it, but mostly it was like, what's the point of this? And then James Gunn, a year or so ago, came out with The Suicide Squad, which is a sequel, but it's really like a reboot, and it was amazing. And one of the main characters in that movie was Peacemaker, played by John Cena, and everyone loved the character, so they gave John Cena his own TV series with that character. And such a good series. The movie was great, amazing, in fact. The Suicide Squad, you don't even need the first one, but The Suicide Squad was great, and Peacemaker is icing on the cake. Highly recommend it. I was a big fan of the sword sticky grenade combo. I'm a grenade guy. Any game like that, like a Halo game, I'm all about grenades. I love getting killed in a game just so I can drop that grenade just at the right moment so that they kill me. They're like, yeah, awesome, I got you. And then boom, and they're dead. Nothing is more satisfying to me than that. Self-loathing, what?
Hobo clowns are the most dangerous because they're hungry.
People just watch the movie to see Margot Robbie. I actually enjoyed... Yeah, Margot Robbie was great in that first Suicide movie. That is a reason to watch it. But I actually really enjoyed that. What's that movie they gave Harley Quinn? Harley Quinn and the Fantabulous whatever. I enjoyed that movie more than Suicide Squad. But the Suicide Squad is one of those next level outside of the box, like a Guardians of the Galaxy style movie. And of course that makes sense because it's James Gunn. Okay, no Peacemaker movie. They used the Suicide Squad as the intro. Thanks. Correct. Yeah, Peacemaker is a TV show, but it's the quality of a movie. Especially with the boss battle at the end. That was pretty awesome. Both opening sequences of Orville Season 3 and Picard Season 2 seem to be dream sequences. Picard had a lot of dream sequences in the first season. I wonder if they still do that. Well, they must do that if you're saying you saw that. But he doesn't have aromatic syndrome anymore, or whatever it was called. And I thought the dreams were kind of related to that, but it could just be dreams to do exposition and subconscious feelings for the characters and subconscious motives, things like that. Dream sequences have always been a great way to tell more of a story and continue a story. We'll have to see. I haven't even watched any... I think I watched the very first teaser trailer with Picard, but I haven't watched anything else with it because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get my first real impression of it when I actually watch the show. I'm like, let me just be completely surprised with everything that's going on. So I know nothing about it, but I did that by choice. Picard opening with a dream sequence. One must ask then the question Philip K. Dick asked all those years ago. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Well, if so, not Data, because he's finally gone. Supposedly. He's always supposedly gone. But they keep finding his head in a damn cave. Yeah. Philip K. Dick's on everyone's minds right now. People got Philip K. Dick's on the brain. You say, I wonder if Weasel. First, I thought you were trying to say Wesley from TNG, but you mean Weasel from Suicide Squad. Weasel ended up being a huge fan favorite. We didn't get much of Weasel, but yeah, he's a fan favorite. I'm surprised I haven't seen more going on with him, like cosplay or action figures. They might have an action figure. I haven't looked into it. He's also a robot. Can he dream? Well, I think he is. Yeah, he is a robot, but he's a new version of what can be considered a robot or an android or a, what's the other word? Synthetic or whatever. They're basically the same, exact same as humans, supposedly. So, except for the way they were made. So yeah, I'm sure he dreams. If the old Picard dreamed, the human Picard, then the robot Picard will also dream. Oh, I've only watched the first episode of season 2 of Resident Alien. Resident Alien, of course, was produced in a lot of direction and creation from Robert Duncan McNeil, Tom Paris from Voyager, who has directed a few episodes of the Orville as well. Not season 3 though. And that show is perfect for any fan of the Orville. Should fall in love with Resident Alien. I mean, you can't beat Alan Tudyk, man. He is great. Hal asked that back in 2010. Did we ever get an answer? Will I dream, Dave? Wasn't that 2001? Will I dream, Dave? Nah, you won't dream. You just dumb calculator. Yeah, Resident Alien is worth watching. I'll tell you right now, if you haven't done it yet, Upload on Amazon. Amazon Original is worth a couple of watches as well. Yeah, I'm all about those grenades. Atheist for the cause. Or atheist for the cause. Ah. Yeah, Resident Alien. And then Tudyk is just so good at that character. He really feels like an alien. The way he talks and his speech patterns and everything. Orville Stitch. Experiment 626 crossover. Orville Stitch. Like Orville and Lilo and Stitch. That'd be awesome. I'd like to see Bortus on a surfboard. Oh, I thought that was the end of the sequel. Unless they brought it back. I'm pretty sure in 2001, Hal also said, "Will I dream, Dave?" Yeah, Hal was much more malevolent in 2001. Since they seem to be going back to the 2030s or something in Picard Season 2, I would love if they check the cave for Data's head, but I doubt they will. Oh, man! They totally could. It would be there. It would totally be there. And Picard would know that. No one else might know that, but Picard would know that it's there. If he wants to see his old friend... Oh, but then that would change time. That means they wouldn't have found Data's head in the future. And Picard would know that as well. John Burns, Egotastic FunTime. I posted a video in your Egotastic chat. It's about a satirist that wrote a space opera who travels west from the Pillars of Hercules. It's a very funny satire of ancient travel logs. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I'll have to look that one up, John. I was watching Jeopardy last week and someone pronounced Hercules weird. What did they say? Hercules, I think they might have said. And Blossom said, Hercules. And they're like, okay, but you still get it because you got all the letters. Do you think the president of Earth will be a real dick? Let's see. How many presidents of Earth have we met in sci-fi? I'm sure Morgan Freeman's been one a couple times. Red from that 70s show was the president of Earth in Undiscovered Country, wasn't he? What's up, Cy? How you doing? Sorry, JP, late to the party as usual. How are you doing, fam? Doing good. Just doing my side job, doing my Orville job, hanging with my family. My stepkid, we're starting him up on Little League Baseball this Thursday. I'm looking forward to that. He doesn't play at all. He's never played. And so we're going to take him to his first practice. We went and picked up on, over the weekend, we went to Play It Again Sports. And we bought him cleats, got him a helmet, got him some pants, and we got him a regulation bat. I don't think he's used any of it yet. Heracles. Boom, that's it, Aaron. That's how they pronounced it. Heracles. It's a Greek origin name. Now, I saw that they're bringing back Futurama, but what's-his-face that plays Bender isn't part of it. A lot of people are up in arms. I don't care. We weren't supposed to even get more Futurama again. I'm glad that we are, but I'm sure they'll find someone great, or they'll work it out. They'll work it out, and he'll end up being there. Nothing is official until it's official. Until you see the episode and you hear a different voice, I guess. Stepchild, is he redheaded? No, he's dark brown headed. And he's tall for his age. Very tall for his age. He's getting close to being as tall as me, and he's only 13. He will come back, but he wants all the voice actors to get paid more. I assume he will be back. Yeah, people really want him, so they'll just pay everyone a little bit more. I'm sure they don't pay the actors even close to enough anyway. So, and I'm sure they have tons of money, so just give them some more. At least he's not coming aboard for the right reasons. Didn't Leonard Nimoy cause some trouble for the Star Trek, the animated series when it comes to the voices? Like, they didn't want, I don't think they wanted George Takei or a lot of those voices to be on there, and he said, no, you got to have them or else you guys are in trouble with Spock. Something like that. Hey, Ajasan Howard, what's going on?
The tingles. I feel as if I have been standing my entire life and I just sat down.
Look at that number. Member for 19 months. Member of the Geloja Squad. Time to brag. Also, sorry for being late. Oh, that's okay. There's always the replay. But I'm glad you made it for some of the live stuff. Wow, you got the purple Orville emblem next to your name. I think that's like the second highest. Because I think there's a silver one that I made as well. That's awesome. Oh, there's the silver one. Brian Dawkins got the silver badge. I think it's a silver with a star in the middle of it. Nice. They're trying to bring Alf back. Shot Factory bought all of it. I would check out. I used to love Alf as a kid. But Alf's humor is probably a little stale nowadays. So I'll check it out and see what I think of it. And if they've updated it a little bit. If it makes me chuckle, then I'll probably be into watching more. In Greek, Heracles is Irakles, pronounced Irakles. That's where Heracles comes from. What? Hercules is Irakles, and Irakles is Heracles. What? So many great singing voices on the Orville. I'm just annoyed we never got to hear Bortus sing Celine Dion. Yeah, he's stepping up to the mic this season. I just don't know if it has anything to do with music. But I've been told by John Cassar that he is stepping up to the mic. What else do I know? I think John is actually going to be going on some dates this season. So we'll get to see the ladies' man on the ship actually, be a ladies' man, I guess. I do know that the show is still the same vibe. You're not going to get, even though it's on Hulu and they can do whatever they want on Hulu, there's not like a whole bunch of cussing or anything like that. They say you might see a couple of butt cracks. I'm sure that means Bortus. We've already seen Bortus's butt crack. I still like my idea of Garrett Wang on the Orville as an acting ensign. Yeah. Or is it Wang? Is it pronounced Wang even though it's spelled Wang? Shouldn't he be promoted? I would love to have Harry on there, but they would just have him be some. Either they just have him be some non-union member or just some character, something like that. The leader of a world, a scientist, or something like that. Or if I was them, I'd make him an admiral above all other admirals. Give him the highest position. Poor guy. Yeah, I hope we get to see Gordon get a woman. Or a man, whatever Gordon's into. You know how the future be, you guys. You want to see? I'll show that. Aaron's like, I want to see Alara's butt crack. I want to see Yaphet's butt crack. No, he shouldn't be promoted. Poor Harry. In the Firestorm episode, Ed says it's only been 6 months since he took over. That seems like a lot of stuff happened in such a short amount of time. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one great thing that I like about the Orville is every week, every episode doesn't mean it's the next week. I mean, there was a lot of time that passed between season 1 and season 2. And I'm sure there's going to be a heck of a lot of time that's passed since season 2 and season 3. Man, I saw a current picture of BJ Tanner, who plays Marcus. Man, his face looks way different than in that opening scene that we saw. His face looks way different, way older, and more chiseled. So I'm wondering what they're going to do about that. I mean, will the second half of the season, will there be a big time jump in the middle of the season? And that'll be hard to do too, because they were filming little bits of all 10 episodes throughout the entire filming process. They were batching filming. Like, they got a big day on the bridge, they'll film 2 or 3 episodes of scenes that they needed. And these episodes are going to be crazy long. We're getting 10 episodes, but they are long episodes. And they have about the same amount of time as Season 2 was. Season 2 is 14 episodes, which ran a certain amount of time. Season 3 is only 10 episodes, but it'll run the same amount of time. Yeah, hopefully Alara will show up, do a cameo this season. I know the show is open for it. They've been open the whole time. They said that after Season 2, that right away, even at Comic-Con on the panel. Seth said, oh yeah, absolutely, she's invited back anytime. If the story fits, then that's what we'll do. And she said that she's up for it as well. Archmage says, maybe Isaac... Where'd it go? Maybe Isaac will install a butt crack for the more human experience. I keep expecting, butt crack or no, I keep expecting ever since the Krill episode, and they did do it. Well, they didn't do it. They used the environmental simulator to make Isaac look human in the simulator, but they could do that outside of the simulator because Isaac created the hollow emitter that Seth and Gordon. Well, Seth and Gordon. That Ed and Gordon used in that Krill episode in Season 1, Episode 6. I've ever since that episode, I've been expecting Isaac to show up looking human because he's wearing that emitter. They haven't done it yet. I hope they do it this season because it would totally make sense. But if they have to go on an away mission and they need Isaac to not look like a robot, but they need him on the mission to do sciencey stuff, they got to bring out that piece of technology so he can go on that planet and look human. Or go back in time. I think there's going to be time travels at some point in this season. Go back in time and he has to look human. Because they didn't have robots back then. Mercer create. We'll see you later. Is Alara coming back? I like her replacement, but I have a soft spot for Alara. Yeah, we all do. I love Tala. I like her character a lot more. But Alara was just so great. So if we get to see her again, that'd be special for all of us. I feel really bad for Tala's, the actress, Jessica Zor. She did indeed have big shoes to fill, and she did a good job. She really did. She had a lot of fun sharing stuff online, Jessica Zor, throughout Season 3. She didn't get to do that at all for Season 2 because it was a super secret thing, her getting cast, what she was playing. It was super secret what her character was supposed to be, and the story, but also there was that whole uproar. People were like, what? They got rid of Alara? I like the way she looked to my eyeballs. I am mad now. So they had to keep her kind of behind, on the sidelines when it came to having fun and doing social media stuff with the series. But not Season 3. She probably posted more than anybody else. Mercer, I'm trying to look for your things. There's just a lot on the screen. Seth MacFarlane is a big Rush fan, so I hope he uses a Rush song in Season 3. Man, he might, because he did a great job with that with the Billy Joel stuff. He'll do Tom Sawyer. Maybe he'll have Tom Sawyer. JP, did you see Prodigy? I saw the first episode of Prodigy. I know people are talking mad, giving mad props to Prodigy. And there's been pictures that I've seen. I'm like, oh man, I got to catch up on the show at some time. But I watched the first episode. I thought it was a good little start. But man, I'm just hardly watching anything right now, except for non-sci-fi stuff. I'm kind of weaning off of sci-fi until the Orville shows up, and then I'm gonna, after I see the Orville, get a huge sci-fi fix because I've been staving off from it, fasting from sci-fi. I'm saving it for the Orville, and then I'm gonna catch up on everything. Though I probably will watch Picard later this week. But I hear good things about Prodigy, even though it's meant for kids. And I knew it would be fine. I'm like, as long as they're not, a bunch of kid characters yelling all the time, which is what a lot of kid shows do, and they just tell some good stories, I'm sure it'll be fine. But apparently they went above and beyond and really put some Star Trek canon references in there. Tala is hard for me to like because she is part of something I hate when series replace characters. Yeah. It's the whole Dick York, Dick Sargent situation all over again. They make them too similar to the departing character. Yeah, they made her real similar because I think she's Chilean, but as an actual character, as a person, I find her very different than Alara. But yeah, she got the look, dark hair, super strong. Yeah, they're not rushing the Orville season. Not rushing though is perfect. It means we're gonna get an even better season, and it's gonna mean people are even more hungry for this season. More people are gonna show up, and people are still discovering the Orville for the first time. So that also means we're gonna have more people show up. This is gonna be a huge. We're gonna be doing some big shows here for all the pre and post shows for the new season. I'm expecting a lot of people to show up. I might have to slow down the chat so I can read stuff. Any thoughts on the new info that's come out about the Quantum Leap reboot? Well, we've been talking about a Quantum Leap reboot for years now during these live shows. And, I'm excited for anything Quantum Leap, but I haven't looked into any information about it because I don't trust most information about things that are so far off. I usually wait until official information comes out, a trailer comes out, a teaser, and then I usually jump on board the conversation train. But right now, anything that's early is usually just people coming up with problems that don't exist and worrying about those problems and talking about those problems as if they do exist. Not that I know if that's what's happening. That's just been my experience on most nerdy shows that are far off. Let me show that. John Burns goes, where did it go? Hey, I told you not to go full Dick York, Dick Sargent. Dick York, Dick Sargent, Sergeant York? Whoa. Ah, yes, Tala won me over. That was a big Tala episode. She didn't really get much before that. Tala won me over in the episode. She liked Bortus's ex-boyfriend, ex-partner. Man, what was the word for that? I can't remember the word he used, but there was a word for your ex-partner. Mocklin word. Yes, I don't know what they're doing in the new Quantum Leap. I have the story that I want them to be told. I want, like, I don't know, a daughter, son, granddaughter, grandson of Sam to to refire up the experiment in the hopes of trying to find Sam. And then, of course, they get lost as well, and then they have to do the same thing. And maybe every once in a while, Scott Bakula shows up. They cross paths, kind of like the Evil Leaper and him would cross paths every once in a while. I have no idea. It might be Sam is the star of the season. I have no idea. Yeah, don't even go full Darren. I'm all York. A lot of people were fine with Dick Sargent, but I have always been and still am all about Dick York. If I'm being bewitched, I want Dick York by my side. Yes, Ajasan says, my favorite character. Now I need a Clyden redemption arc. I feel it coming. I do too. I think Clyden is the one, is our uncle that we all that's a little out there that comes to Thanksgiving dinner every year. I think it doesn't work. All that stuff with Clyden doesn't work unless there's a redemption arc for him to learn from and from people watching to learn from. But I could also see the Orville going with the most realistic outcome, which is people don't change a lot of the times. Because sometimes the Orville will just go full on realistic. Like with the Krill episode, when Talia at the end We thought everything was going to be fine, that we gained a friend. She learned from us. That's what would have happened in Star Trek. Oh, maybe those humans aren't so bad after all. Oh, maybe those krill aren't so crazy. But no, that's not how it ended. It's like after what those children saw you do today, they will be your enemies. That's the more realistic outcome. That's one thing I love about the Orville. So they're more mature than Star Trek sometimes. Except for they still include fart jokes. They got fart jokes, but they're also more mature. Sai says, if I had to choose a dick, I too would go for York. Philip K. Dick York, you guys. That's a crossover event. Let's see here. JP, your fair and balanced approach to fandom is a dumpster fire. It's the opposite of a dumpster fire. I notice most conversations online are just dumpster fires, and that's why I stay out of them. I don't let anybody form my opinion about things for me. So I usually stay out of all conversations, unless we're talking live here. But when I'm going online, I don't get into any conversations about nerdy stuff that I like, or I don't even know if I like. I'll let my eyeballs see the product, and then I'll make my decision. I've just never liked allowing other people's opinion to form my own opinion, which I don't even review the Orville. I don't review it. People think, oh, Orville reviews. I don't review it. I've always just celebrated the Orville. It's a celebration of fandom because we're the best fandom out there. You got people that are unsatisfied with whatever the thing that they love is, which means they don't love it anymore. Come over to the Orville. I guarantee we're going to give you something you love. A new Galactica prequel. Have I missed something? Galactica prequel. Oh, they've done that. What they had? They had what was that Galactica prequel that they did about the planet? I can't remember. I never got into it. I love the Battlestar Galactica reboot. It's one of the best things that's ever come out, I think. And but I'm not interested in anything else from them. No prequels, maybe a continuation, but I mean, you can't really continue the story that they ended on. You just have to reboot it again and say, oh, this has all happened before. Regardless of the krill makeup, Talia was so damn hot. Don't get her too hot, she'll combust into flames. Caprica, that was it. I know didn't people like Caprica? I never was interested in a prequel. I felt the regular Battlestar Galactica is the prequel, and then the new Battlestar Galactica is the sequel. I don't need a prequel to a sequel. Caprica. Now, they did do that side movie, Razor, for Battlestar Galactica, which had Ensign Rowe as the captain of the other Battlestar that was out there. That was pretty damn good. Blood and Chrome. Latest episode of The Rookie starring Nathan Fillion, so it counts in this chat, was very good. Anything counts in this chat. But yeah, The Rookie with Nathan Fillion. They're supposed to be doing, finally, of course I never trust any of these rumors. They're supposed to be doing Firefly. But that topic always comes up every year. Every year since Firefly went off the air, which was 1,000,000 years ago, there's been that, oh, they're doing a reboot. So I'll have to see. If I see a teaser, then I'll believe it. And that goes for anything. Anything, even if a studio announces something, I'm like, we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot out there and everything costs money. As soon as something costs too much money, it doesn't come out. So I don't believe anything until I see a teaser. Talia pregnant with Ed's baby. A lot of you guys have been asking for that. I don't want to see that. But, yeah, a lot of you guys, I mean, it'd be an interesting situation. It'd be an interesting thing to find out, are krill and humans compatible in that way? Maybe they're not compatible, but they are compatible after she did that stuff to her body to make her become and even pass the test to come across as a human. Maybe that procedure made her compatible with human fun soup. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't have a euphemism that doesn't also sound dirty. Baby batter. I guess that works. From Nesquik. Maybe she is compatible now, and maybe she did get pregnant, and then she turned herself back into Krill, but she still got that baby. What? I don't want anybody having a baby on the show though, that didn't want one. I don't want any pregnancies for our crew unless it was planned. Sorry, Trip. I know you got pregnant and didn't want to get pregnant. You didn't plan for it. That was a great episode, by the way, but I don't want anyone on the Orville to do that. Brian Dawkins, member for 26 months. Oh my goodness, that's a big number right there.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a new fun thing.
What? We march to the beat of our own drums, so we are frienddom. I was thinking of, that's a good one actually. The play on fandom that I came up with the other day, but I just don't know how to use it, was fandom. FANDUMB. I don't know how to use that without calling out other types of content. All hail the almighty Avis. Yes, Salazar. Avis shall shine his glory upon us. Trip had 2 unplanned babies? Are you counting that clone of him? See, I know he had that one unplanned baby. That was season 1, I believe. Did he have another one? Tim Allen as a captain of a Union ship. Would that be too on the nose? I don't care. I want to see that. That sounds pretty good. Self-loathing? What?
We need no longer fear the banana.
Does it work on all fruit?
What about salads?
Kids screw up everything, life and shows.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm hoping to have a kid in a year or two. I never wanted a kid, but I finally found a woman that changed my mind about that, where I'm like, man, I'd love to have a kid with her. So after the wedding, that'll be our next adventure, to try at least. And if we end up not having a kid, we'll just go on a vacation and do stuff that people that don't have young kids can do. Just live an awesome life. John Burns. Or maybe not. She just returns pregnant and everyone's all, so, Ed, splainin'? I think that's how they would do it. She would just show up pregnant. Do you think any of the Orville episodes will mirror major issues we're currently facing in the world? Yes, absolutely it will. If it does pandemic stuff, it'll either be just a coincidence, because all the scripts were written. All the scripts for season 3 were written before COVID-19. But when I talked to Jay Lee, he said, during the pandemic, I talked to Jay Lee, and he said, if I know Seth, he's probably writing. He's been writing this whole time during lockdown. And I'm hoping that means for season 4, which I think there's probably been a little bit of development just in case for a season 4. And of course, Seth is open to a season 4. Scott Grimes said that just a few weeks ago, that yeah, Seth is totally open for a 4th season. I'm open for a 4th season. And then Jay Lee and Peter Macon and Mark Jackson all said, yeah, we'd love to do another season. It just all depends on Hulu. If Hulu numbers come in and they're great, then yeah, we're all up for a 4th season. Let's see here. So many questions about Mocklin pregnancy. Do they have an oviduct, like a vent, like chickens have? They must do as ass doesn't make sense. So they have male junk. I guess so, as Bortus's Geloja was from a standing position. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what their junk is like. I mean, it might be more like a red rocket that a dog has. Who knows? It might have the whole intertwining thing, like birds have. Though there are one or two birds that actually have an actual penis. I think it might be a swan has an actual penis. But most of them, of course, do that whole intertwining coil thing, which is gross. Bortus, Mocklins, you guys are gross, dude. What's going on down there? I know the top half of their butts look like human butts, but what's the bottom of that butt look like? Is there a vent? Self-loathing? What?
Really? This is my job? How did I win at life? But I did. I've won. Yeah.
Give it a few years and drop the kid off at a fire station. Oh, my fiance would not like that at all. She's already in love with the baby that doesn't exist. And it'll be a year or two before we even try. Let's see. Aaron says, pandemic episode with a weak virus where governments try to get everyone to inject a harmful vaccine is secretly a Krill plot to take over. Them damn Krill. Get everyone injected. What was a movie I watched? I don't know. I watched some movie a couple months ago that came out years ago, a couple years before COVID, and you would have thought it came out during COVID. It was so right on everything that was going on, masks, stuff like that. God, what was it? It wasn't even. It came out a couple of years before, and I was watching. I was like, man, you'd think this was made specifically about COVID, and it's a famous movie or TV show. I can't remember. I think it was a movie. I mean, this stuff has been on people's minds for a long time. Now we just got a real world dose of what happens. If the Orville fandom shows up, we will get season 4. Absolutely. That is the number one thing everyone has to remember. If we show up and other people show up and people are still discovering the show and they're already like, man, I just watched the show last week. It was so amazing. I binge watched it and they're doing a season 3. I can't wait. We need more and more of that. And I think the fandom is so hungry for the show that they're going to show up in droves. Despite all the people going, oh, it's taking too long, I don't even care. BS. As soon as it comes out, you're going to care more than anything. I don't believe people with their whining. Oh, God, I hate chocolate. I had to wait a week to get chocolate. Now I don't even like chocolate anymore. Want some chocolate? Hell yeah, I want chocolate. It's exactly how it's going to go. So I don't even believe any of that stuff. I scroll right past it. I want the Krill go to Earth. Ooh. And see an Ava sign and give props to the Earthlings. They'll have to be wearing their armor because they can't touch sunlight. But yeah, that would be amazing. What is this Enterprise? Human. The pregnant talk reminds me of the beginnings of Iron Man 3. Is there a young kid about 11? Nah, 12. Kidding. No kid. Imagine my relief. Yeah, we don't love that kid, 3000. I don't think I saw Iron Man 2 or 3, now that I think about it. Iron Man 2 trailers just look dumb to me. And I don't even remember Iron Man 3. I've seen all of the other stuff, though. I mean, all the Marvel stuff wasn't a super hit yet when the Iron Man sequels came out. But once they started coming off all the other movies and started becoming a universe, it got big. And now it's huge. I mean, they're all the same movies now, unless it's James Gunn. I mean, they all follow the same steps, but at least they're all having fun. I mean, whether you see one of the new Marvel movies and you're like, oh, that story was kind of dumb or whatever, it's like at least they had fun. At some point in the movie, you had fun before the big mind-numbing 30-minute boss battle at the end that your brain just eventually starts ignoring halfway through the battle. At least until that battle, you're having a good time. Contagion? No, it was just like a regular movie. It wasn't one of those big virus movies or anything. It's just something was happening and people were prepared for it. and it was came out a couple of years before, but they were doing all the same stuff. I'll have to find that because I was pretty blown away by it. Tim Allen as an engineer, and he has a show about starship tools. Tool time in space. I've been telling everyone I can that the show is coming back. Yeah, I've run into people, random people, and they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, I do some computer stuff and video content, and then I do a YouTube show about the Orville." They're like, "Oh, the Orville. I missed that show." And then I said, "Oh, it's coming back, in June." They're like, "What? I didn't even know it was getting another season." I'm like, "Yep, sure is." And they're like, "Oh, that's awesome." That's happened more times than I can count. Because you've got to remember, a lot of the fans, they're not on YouTube. They're not part of the fandom. They're not having these conversations in these chats. They're just regular people that watch the show, like the show, love the show, want more of the show, but then they move on to the next show and they don't follow the news or anything like that. Dune, I still have to see. Actually, okay, I'll tell you a story. So, the day that I proposed to Jessica, I took her to a restaurant. The restaurant was the very first restaurant we ever went to. And so, we're just having a regular conversation before I proposed. And I was telling her about stuff that is interesting that I find interesting, stuff that I'm interested to watch, but I'm just not moved or compelled to actually sit down and watch things. And one of those things was Dune. I was like, that new Dune movie looks great. Has a bunch of people in it that I love their movies, and it's totally right up my alley. But I have not seen it yet because I have not felt like sitting down and watching 2.5, 3 hours of a movie. And then as the table next to us were leaving, some guy comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, you should see that Dune movie, by the way." So he's listening in on our conversation, but I talk kind of loud sometimes. And even still, I have not seen the Dune movie, even though it's now part of my proposal story. Because as we're getting the check, and I wanted to make sure Jessica was standing up before I proposed, but I didn't want to let her give her any hint that that's what I was going to do. So we were getting up to leave, and then she stood up, and I went down on my knee and got the ring out and proposed to her, and she was so freaking surprised, you guys. So surprised. And I don't even think anybody noticed what the proposal in the restaurant, because, it was just kind of a real intimate thing. But yeah, that's where I proposed. I was going to take her to the first restaurant, have a guy tell me that I should watch the Dune movie, and then propose to her after we're done eating, I don't know, cheese sticks or whatever it was. But man, we should watch that Dune movie together now that it was part of the conversation. But I guarantee you she doesn't remember that anyway. She just remembers being totally surprised. I was like, how am I going to surprise her? And I was just so happy with the look on her face of surprise. She did not expect anything like that in that moment. If Tim Allen plays an engineer, Richard Karn has to be the guy who does all the work. Richard Karn, I think, does... he sells NFTs now, I think. He put some Tool Time NFTs on a website. I don't think anyone wanted them, but I think they're there. So you talk loud when you get excited? I do. Well, I wasn't really that excited about talking about Dune, because I haven't seen it yet. But that table next to us was really close. He handcrafts those NFTs. Self-loathing? What?
Just a walk in the park, Kazansky.
You should test your girl out first. My ex-wife couldn't handle a dog, now has 2 kids. I foster care. All I do now is laugh.
Wow. Sweet.
Yeah, we got a lot of animals. I'm not a big having a bunch of animals type person, but she is. I just had my cat, and she is great with my cat. My cat also, she's a little bit allergic to my cat, but she doesn't care. She just loves my cat, and my cat loves her. And just if she's home, my cat just follows her all over the place. But we have my cat, which is our cat now. Her dog, Ruthie, which is our dog now, because her dog is great. It's a corgi dachshund mix. They call him a dorgy. Super cute and a really polite dog. And we have 2 chickens. I didn't want any chickens. We have 2 chickens. And we have a giant rabbit. I just had my cat, and now I got all these animals. Because she just loves taking care of little creatures. But yeah, she's passed every test. And surpassed all expectations. So I'm like, yep, this is the one. After all these years, after all these relationships, long-term relationships I've been in, I'm like, this is the first one that I'm like, I got to marry this girl. Al Borland and Ron Swanson should do a show together. I think Ron would probably outperform Al, I think. And Al's hardcore, but Ron's really hardcore. Because he knows what he's about, son. Yeah, Nicola is a really cool cat. And she hardly pays attention to me anymore. She's all about Jessica. I actually have to lock her out of the bedroom, Nicola out of the bedroom at night, because she'll just get right on top of Jessica's head and just stay there all night. But she leaves me alone. I sleep very well. Oop, no, her kid's taken by child service. No. Not her. She won't let nobody take that kid. She loves that kid.
Mocklins, many of them, ready to be
adventurous. Neil Patrick Harris should make a cameo with a large mustache. And they can do the mustache song. I think A Million Ways to Die in the West, I think, is now finally available to watch. I think it might be on Amazon. I rented it a couple months ago because it wasn't available anywhere. Now it's available. Isn't that always the way with these streaming services? Like Netflix. I saw a thing today and it was so true. It says Netflix has so many movies on it and I don't want to watch any of them. There's hardly any movies that ever come out on Netflix that I ever want to watch. Every once in a while they'll come out with a Netflix original, but as far as some other movie that they didn't make, they barely have those anymore. Unless it's really old. Oh, my stepson is actually going to be home from school in just a few, you guys. So I'm going to actually have to end this stream. It goes by like that. We just start talking about all this cool, nerdy stuff. How many of you are going to be checking out Picard Season 2? I liked Picard Season 1. It told the story that I wanted. So far, that's my favorite new Star Trek. Which isn't saying that much, because none of the new I'm fine with all the new Star Trek, but it doesn't call to me. Like the classic stuff or the Orville stuff. Nothing calls to me like the Orville. Oh man, Free Guy. That movie is so freaking good, you guys. I think, is it Disney Plus that has Free Guy? If you guys have not seen Free Guy, and you know anything about video games, and Ryan Reynolds, you have to watch Free Guy. You're going to get so much out of it. Even if you don't know about video games, it's going to be a great movie. But if you know anything about video games, you're going to get a lot of Easter eggs and stuff like that. Signing up for Paramount just for Season 2. All right, Lou. And people got to remember, you can sign up for a thing, watch the show that you want to watch, and then cancel, and then go to the other thing. There's so many streaming services. Like I know when the Orville 3 years ago announced that they're going to Hulu, people subscribed right then and there. I'm like, it's going to be at least a year. At that point, I was like, it's going to be at least a year before you get another season. You're going to have it for a year if you sign up now. Just sign up when it comes on. And then sign off when it's done. Or keep subscribing and rewatching over and over and over again. But I'm sure you'll probably be able to purchase the Orville on Amazon Movies. Or whatever it's called. Self-loathing. What? Let's do a nice... since I'm going to end the stream here in just a minute, a bunch of booms.
Boom, bitch! That's what I'm talking about right there on that boom, boom. That's what I'm talking about.
It's true, he was just talking about that.
Boom. Yeah, not like that, but yeah.
Right.
All the booms right there for that last super chat. Thank you very much, Self-Loathing. HBO Max has Free Guy. There's so many. I got HBO Max. I got Paramount. I got Peacock ends up being the one I watch the most. And Peacock's, besides all The Office and Parks and Recreation and other NBC shows, they got some good movies on there too. Oh yeah, I plan on catching up on all the Star Trek stuff. Well, when it comes to Discovery, they're gonna have to capture my attention at some point. Episode 1 didn't for the season 4, so we'll have to see if a couple more episodes get me into the story of the season. Self-Loathing again. What? We're gonna go to the other sound page.
I am sorry you are upset. Perhaps you are on your period.
Everyone watch Halo. Oh yeah, I'll totally be watching Halo. I want to see how they do the ring, the Halo, the actual ring planet. I want to see what that looks like. That's a cool. That was always cool in the video game. Avenue 5. I just rewatched Avenue 5 like 2 weeks ago. I binged the whole thing. Man, I liked it when it first came out, but it wasn't like super great, but it was fun to watch. And there was like some timing issues with some of the dialogue and the situations, but I watched it recently, and man, it was great. It was perfect. Everything was absolutely perfect. I'm like, okay, let's get the second season going. I'm trying to get to season 2 of Space Force right now. I started rewatching season 1 because I wanted Jessica to watch it. She thinks it's probably okay because it hasn't gotten crazy yet, but I'm like, I kind of just want to skip and get to season 2 because I already watched season 1 like twice back in the day. Oh, I also have not watched Boba Fett. I'm waiting for after the Orville to watch that as well. I watched a bunch of that first season of Disenchanted. I watched most of season 1. That was a fun show. How many times have bananas been mentioned in the first 2 seasons of the Orville? I can name 2 off the top of my head. Anti-Banana Ray. The Don't Fear Banana scene. Also, Isaac gave Claire a banana in A Happy Refrain. Yeah, that's one I can watch Cobra Kai. I just got to sit down and do it. But also I have to wait for my stepson loves that show, and we plan on watching that one together. Ooh, I might watch Obi-Wan. Yeah, I might watch Obi-Wan. I'll probably watch Obi-Wan, and I'm sure I'll watch Picard. I might check out the first episode of Strange New Worlds. If it really captures me, maybe I'll finish it, because it'll only be a handful of episodes. It's going to be a small season, I'm pretty sure, for Strange New Worlds. But we'll have to see. I'm very interested in it. I'm interested to see how they do the episodic thing. I prefer episodic with my sci-fi, so... Because you have to have a really good storyline to do a full serial thing without me getting bored. Like season 2 Discovery, I didn't care for the mystery enough to have the whole season be about that. So we'll just have to wait and see. But also, you guys, I'm going to be putting out some Orville videos along the way. We'll be doing another stream next month. We'll be doing at least a couple, 1 or 2 streams every month until June, and that's when we go gung-ho, and we're going to be doing a hell of a lot of streams once the Orville starts. No Boba Fett Mandalorian Season 2.5. What?
Hey, man, I'm on your side. I always knew Isaac was a scumbag. Only
All
had one thing on his mind, that guy. You're better off without him.
That's right. All right, you guys, I got to go. The kid is going to be here in 2 minutes. I got to go unlock the door for him. Thank you very much for your support. There's all the links down there to click on if you want to add further support. But otherwise, it's just been great to chat with you guys. And don't forget, if you guys want to sign the wedding, our online wedding book, The link is right at the top of the chat, but it's also in the description as well. I'll see you guys very soon, and as always, I hope all your times are not only Orville-tastic, but Egotastic. And Egotastic FunTime will be coming back as soon as the Orville's done, because I'm sure we'll have a little bit of a wait before Season 4 comes out, so we've got to go back to Egotastic FunTimes. But I'll see you guys very soon. Love you, bye-bye.